We are live, I think. Got the headphone special on today. Already saw that I have a typo on the post. Cool. Good thing you can't edit stuff on Twitter. We'll do it live, truck it. So we'll be showing off dangerous territories. As I said, since Max is traveling loose, we'll be showing off his. I guess that makes sense. I meant showing off my music creation process, but I changed the post for Discord. It sounded like I showed off Max's music creation process, and I will be showing off my music creation process. I also tried to set it up so my soundboard will work while I'm doing the music. I won't be able to hear the soundboard. I also can't hear like the satisfying stream stuff right now. Right now I'm looking at Nitro, or not Nitro Nation. I was also looking at Nitro Nation, but looking at NFL Rivals. NFL Rivals has a new program launching, the kickoff program for the start of the NFL season. And you can kind of see what cards are out before the packs drop because they've like put all the templates on chain. I was gonna say mint, but it's not really a mint until they mint a card. But they create all the templates on chain, so before the packs are even available or anybody in the server knows what the cards are, you can kind of snoop around and see what they are. There's also Luminous. Luminous generally means the card's gonna be a legendary. Although we've never had Luminous blueprints before, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe they will have lower rarity Luminous, but I would assume all of these are legendary, so you can kind of scope out. I also don't know anything about football, so I have to look up all of these players individually. Lamar Jack. He's a running back. Oh, I know Lamar Jackson. I have him on my. Or he's a quarterback. Sorry, I have him on my base team. He's actually not great. Some of these players are players that already exist as base cards, but I assume that's also why there will be blueprints, is so you can upgrade their base cards. Joe Mixon. I don't know that guy. Joe Mixon is a running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. Trayvon Diggs. He's a cornerback. Pretty sure I have Steven Diggs on my team. I wonder if they're related. Diggs is a pretty sick last name. Or I have Stephon Diggs, not Steven. Good old legendary. Yeah, I probably won't bother doing all of this on stream, but eventually I'm going to look up all those players. So I like knowing what's going to come out. The prices of the legendaries sort of matter for supply and demand. So if they're releasing like 5 new safety legendaries, it might be worth selling mine now and trying to buy it back after the packs drop because a bunch more will hit the market. So I kind of try to stay ahead of that. But I'm excited. NFL kickoff. That also means the rookie players. They did a rookie program. They call it the draft program. I forgot that I have all the satisfying stuff on stream too, but I don't know if y'all can see this. But the players get upgraded from the rookie program based on their in real life performance. So if they start in the first game of the season, they get 5 power. If they start in more than 9 games, they get 10 power. Rookie of the week gives them plus 10 power, and rookie of the year, their all rookie end of year team is 15 power. And then each position has individual stat increases. Like if a quarterback plays in 10 games, you get 5 power. If he throws 1 TD in September, you get 5 power. There are 10 TDs total in the season, you get 10 power. And over 2,000 yards is 10 power. So I have some rookies. My main quarterback right now is Bryce Young. Bryce Young was the #1 draft pick. He's on the Carolina Panthers. I've actually been watching the preseason. I haven't watched football in like a decade, but Rivals is making me watch because I want to see how Bryce is doing. And honestly, it's one of the coolest things I've seen like in the NFT space as far as like it has in real life ramifications for what happens. I am worried the Carolina Panthers seem to have an absolutely garbage offensive line. So all of the quarterbacks they've been kind of trying out 3 different quarterbacks during the preseason, but Carolina's been having a real rough time like making plays. So I hope they can get their offensive line together. But Bryce Young at the very least should be starting. And I was looking up like stats for just like not the best quarterbacks in the league, and like 10 TDs and 2K yards is pretty doable even if you're not a like top quarterback. So I think hopefully should be doable to get the stat upgrades. My biggest worry would be that he like just completely shits the bed and then has to like they play Matt Corral and they're not Matt Corral. Is it Matt Corral? Yeah, I think that's his backup. Or Andy Dalton, I think is the other one. I know way more about like the Carolina Panthers depth chart than I ever should, being from I play as the Seahawks in game. I'm from like the Seattle area, but I currently live in Los Angeles, so I really should be representing the Rams or the Seahawks, but I know more about the Carolina Panthers depth chart than I do the either of those teams just because I've been concerned with the rookies. I'm also interested to track Anthony Richardson. He had like crazy. I sold his card. I'm going to be mad if he does super well, but he had like some of the fastest sprint times, and like he broke the record for I think the vertical jump for a quarterback. So he's like one of the best like physical athletes of any quarterbacks. But from what I read, he has less experience like people like Bryce Young because he makes really good decisions in the pocket and he's really well poised. And Richardson doesn't have like the experience under pressure, I guess. I think he didn't play his last year in college either. I don't think he was even starting his first year either, so he only has like 2 years of starting in college, if I'm correct. But yeah, this has been my favorite part of Rivals is nerding out about the rookies. I also was watching Hard Knocks and is it Will Anderson? I think is his name from the Jets. Like he looks super cool. I'm kind of sad I picked up Lucas Van Ness instead of uh, Will Anderson, but I might have to scoop another one just so I have both. Lucas Van Ness, I think, was bigger. He's like a huge dude. I was like, oh, he'll probably be better at pass rushing. But the Jets actually played the Panthers. I watched that preseason game, and Will Anderson, he like hit the quarterback like 4 times. He only got 1 sack, but he was breaking through consistently. So I was like, wow, this guy might not be the biggest guy, but I'm not sure how Lucas Van Ness has been doing, to be honest. Probably Google it. Lucas Van Ness preseason. Also, like I've been looking on YouTube, people do compilations of like all the players' snaps. Lucas Van Ness highlights. Let's see if I can preseason. I don't want to see him in college. Here, let's get rid of some of this. I'm also going to be making music in a second if anybody here is not here for the football. I'm just kind of killing some time while people file in. We'll also do some giveaways. Got some NFTs to give away on the Wax blockchain. It'd be cool if eventually we could give away rival stuff. I know it's kind of an issue for like multi-counting. It would make it much easier for people to multi-count if you could just send NFTs to any account, but I don't know how you fix that, but it would be cool. Let's see some Lucas Van Ness.
All right, let's talk about Green Bay Packers first round pick Lucas Van.
I actually can't hear this thing. Let's see if we can just find a play. I'm assuming they're narrating this. I muted it. I got my audio. Holy crap, this is a real play-by-play. Looks like he broke through, but he sort of missed the tackle. I think I want him to get sacks. We're going to be upgrading his stats. I wish this was not so like frozen and broken down. I just want to see the plays. I'm sure they're explaining stuff. Since I can't hear it, I'm not going to play the audio. Oh. So much happened so quick. Well, it doesn't really look like he did anything in that play. That was a weird play to highlight. I want to see him get a sack. I don't know if he got a sack. Will Anderson got a sack on his very first preseason game. I think they're both like rotational starters, though. I don't think either are necessarily going to be starting every play, but I'm not positive about that. All right, I've seen enough of that. Maybe just because quarterbacks are more popular, but if you do like Bryce Young highlights, they'll do like every snap. Yeah, here we go. Like every pass attempt versus the New York Jets. I like watching these, even though I did watch this game live. I feel like Bryce actually looked pretty good, even though he was just constantly under pressure. Like the Jets are also, they have a mean defense. The Jets have, from what I've heard, it's weird saying I'm a newer football fan. I followed football like pretty intensely when I was younger. I took like a decade-long break. But Rivals has got me back into it. But I was really into football in like the early 2000s. Played NFL 2K a ton. I followed the Seahawks pretty closely. For whatever reason, I really like the Green Bay Packers. Like I always said, Brett Favre was my favorite player, so I liked Seahawks and the Packers. I think Bryce also got sacked that game too. Like I feel like the sack wasn't his fault though. Like the offensive line was just really shitting the bed. Let's see. For defensive ends, you need 4 sacks for 5 power and 8 sacks for 10 power. That's gonna be way harder to get than the passing ones. The 25 tackles, I think, is more doable. I also wonder, like, if it's solo tackles, because I think solo tackle is a different stat than like a group tackle. Bryce is really small too, which sucks for like when he's getting rushed. It's harder for him to like throw over players. I wonder if we can look at the Richardson breakdown real quick. I think it was Stroud threw like an interception like almost immediately and got benched in the preseason. Richardson preseason highlights. I'm also not sure. I don't think Anthony Richardson played week 2. Because I had an Anthony Richardson and I sold him for like the same price as Bryce Young. I was like, I would rather have Bryce. That's also partially because just the meta right now is better passing. And Anthony Richardson, like he's one of the fastest quarterbacks, so his stats are really speed heavy, which for the meta of the game, it's a little better now that like you can scramble if he gets out of the pocket. But at the time, it was like you'd rather have the stats allocated to long passes for the meta of the game. You're really just trying to bomb every single pass you play. So short passes are also not that good in Rivals at the moment. I don't want to see the snaps where he's just handing it off. Come on. Every pass attempt. There we go. That's what I want. I know the Burst of Energy, who's the owner of the squad I'm in. He's bullish on Richardson. I also think Richardson could be great. It just might take him a season or two. That's the interception he threw. It's honestly didn't look like that bad of a pass. He's just slightly off of that guy. I don't know. It's fun tracking all these rookie stats. I assume he's going to be pretty good at running and like scrambling. So he'll definitely have like a different play style than Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is more of like in the pocket, being good at his awareness in the pocket and throwing. I also really hope they do another Mahomes card. Like the Super Bowl packs didn't sell super well, so I don't think even 50 of those got minted, or if they're pre-minted, not 50 got pulled. So after watching the quarterback series on Netflix, I'm now like a bandwagon Mahomes fan. Mahomes rocks. Like his attitude's super great. He's obviously an exceptional athlete, and like watching him play in the playoffs with the like messed his foot up and then was just like, "Don't take me out of the game," and just like still kicked ass with a really like sprained foot or whatever he did. I was like, this dude rocks. So it's kind of fun like getting into football and then like watching these programs for the behind the scenes on the players. Because then I feel like I kind of get to know their personalities and like I want certain players because of their personalities in game. Like I definitely want Mahomes, even if he doesn't have the best stats, just because I think he's a cool dude. I also like that Max Crosby had beef with Mahomes. He was like hitting him after the play and like kind of like smacking him, like giving him punches. And like Mahomes is like, "Hey man, you got to fucking stop hitting me after the play." But I have a Max Crosby on my team, so I like to think that he's digitally harassing all of the other players on the quarterbacks on the teams I'm playing against. They're getting harassed and bullied by Max Crosby. So yeah, I'm excited for the launch. I'm also excited for new players. I know some people get bummed because you have to buy new cards and they gatekeep the events in Rivals from the new packs. But I like having new stuff to collect. Like if you just played with the same guys over and over again. I also do pretty well in the market. Like right now I have 181 myth, which is worth $47. So my strategy is not to buy the packs. I always get wrecked on pack RNG. I wait for other people to buy the packs, and then I buy the stuff that they dump that they don't need, because there's a bunch of people in this game that don't need anything but legendary cards, and they're the biggest spenders. So they're going to buy a bunch of packs, and like they won't need the rare cards they buy. Like so they'll just sell those for really cheap on the aftermarket. Then I buy those, then I qualify for the events, because the events will be like, oh, you need 3 rares. So then I'll buy like the 3 cheapest rares. That will generally get me an epic, and then that will help me get into the epic event, which might give me a legendary, and then that helps me get into the legendary event. So I kind of try to like daisy chain my way through the events in the marketplace. And also like the blueprints are super cheap right now. Like for 27 cents you can get a linebacker blueprint, 27 cents you can get a running back blueprint. So the last program I didn't even buy the cards. I just bought the blueprints. And then from the grinding materials I got in game, I leveled up the blueprints. Those allowed me to get into the events. And then I unlocked like what's his name? OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Is that his name? I might be wrong, but I got him, and then I got the linebacker, and then I only needed one more, so then I bought an epic blueprint and I upgraded that. But like until this most recent one where I really splurged on the I really splurged and bought I didn't qualify for the CJGJ. I lost a game and I was devastated. I was like, I friggin' want that card. So I bought him, and then I bought a Jesse Bates 3. There is a Luminous for 700 myth, which honestly, I was telling myself I would not spend this much on video game cards, but spent like over $100 about those cards. And that got me into the most recent event. Before that, I had spent 35 myth to get qualify for all the rewards. And if I didn't lose a game, I would have got the the CJGJ. But now that I have two legendaries on my defense, I'm able to more easily qualify for the legendary blueprints, and I'm really trying to get top 180. So enjoy that. But yeah, I bought. Let's see if you can see here. I bought a Ben Powers blueprint for 12 myth. That's $3. I bought a Jawan Taylor blueprint for 10 myth. I got a Derek Carr blueprint for 3 myth, and I got a Brendan Cooks blueprint for 5 myth. So I'd spent like a total of 35 myth, which I think is like around $5, the price of one pack. And that qualified me for every event up until this one that takes 2 legendaries, the mythical event. But yeah, I have fun playing the market, and I feel like it's really possible to not spend a ton of money and get into these events. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's so cash grabby," but like, I've easily made like this 181 myth is from selling rewards and stuff. So I was able to make more than I spent on the last program besides my legendary splurges. But had I not gone for those legendaries, I could easily recover more, and then I can just buy into the next program. So it's kind of the dream of NFT gaming for me, is instead of having to buy into every single new thing, I can sell some of the rewards and the old stuff and use that to buy back in. I'm not trying to like quit my day job playing Rivals. I think a lot of people have unrealistic expectations for earning in NFT gaming. For me, as long as I can earn enough to like keep playing, like that's good enough for me. And I also have fun playing the market, like trying to look at the supply and demand, and like that's why I'm going to check out all these new players that drop, because who knows if they're releasing another legendary SS, I might try to sell my CJGJ now, because if more drop, then the price might come down. And I don't know. I did that with Biard. I was able to sell my Biard and then buy. Honestly, was able to buy a Luminous FS the Bates 3 for less than I sold my Biard for, because I sold him like when he was the only legendary, and I saw that I forget his name, but there's another legendary FS that was dropping, and I was like, oh, the price is going to come down. And then like honestly, the next week I could have bought him back for like 500 myth less, because like supply and demand is a real thing. So I like playing the market. Minka Fitzpatrick, he's the other one, the second one that dropped, which I do think Biard is still the best. Or Byard, I don't know how you say his name. He's still the best, but I sold him at 1, 2, 3, 4 myth when myth was at 40 cents. So like almost double the price of what these ones are selling for. So I feel like I sold him at a good time. My mistake is I held the myth and I didn't sell the myth. So I ended up losing like half my value and basically getting what he's worth now. But had I sold my myth into US dollars at the time, I would have made a great move. I'm not sure who Watson is, to be honest. I was saying earlier, I don't know much about. If the players aren't in NFL Rivals, I don't know who they are. Watson, NFL. Deshaun Watson. What position is he? Quarterback. Yeah, I don't know him. If they add him to the game, I'll probably know more about him. I don't think he's in this new set. Deshaun Watson. But I'm still really enjoying Rivals. There's definitely like, if you're in the Discord. Oh, Christian Watson. Myth come to owners. Myth, you can't earn myth passively in the game. Like there's no just like you grind, you play this many matches, you get myth. The path to earning myth is you can earn cards based on in-game performance, and then those cards you can sell in the marketplace for myth. So, and it is possible free to play. I'm still editing it, and I keep saying I'm going to edit it and then forget to. But I film myself playing on a free to play account. I made a second account, and I didn't actually play all 25 games. I played 20 out of 25 games, but I was top 200 in the base event without paying anything on a brand new account after like 3 weeks. So I think it's very possible to qualify for NFT rewards without buying into the game if you're trying to play free to play. And part 1 of my guide is out, but parts 2 and 3 I'm editing, and I'll put those out. But there is a path to earning NFTs without spending money. And I feel like I have to say, I do not promote multi-accounting. I purposely did not finish the event because I'm not trying to win multiple prizes. I won the base packs on my main account, so I didn't want to get base accounts on my second account. I was doing it for educational purposes. And I also cleared it with Jonathan, who's like the commissioner in Discord. I was like, hey, like I'm trying to make the series and I just want to make sure it's okay. I'm playing on a second account. I will not be winning any exclusive rewards. I was even in the diamond events, not that I could ever get top 100 in the diamond events on my free to play account, but I would not play I would only play 13 matches just to get the highest amount of diamonds. Christian Watson. Let's see Christian Watson. I don't know if he's in the game either. Christian Watson. He's a Green Bay Packer wide receiver. I also don't know who even is on the Packers anymore. Aaron Rodgers was, but he's now on the Jets, right? So I've been watching that on. That's kind of why the new season of Hard Knocks is cool on HBO. So it shows like how it's showing the Jets preseason training camp and seeing like a new quarterback who's a veteran quarterback try to like fit into the new team and then teach the backup quarterback. It's pretty cool. And then also one dynamic I really like about the Hard Knocks is they had the Rookie of the Year cornerback and wide receiver on the Jets last year, and those guys match up against each other and train against each other, and they have like a friendly competition rivalry, and it's kind of cool seeing those guys like grow together. The Jets are like, I don't know, I'm becoming a bandwagon Jets fan too because of this series. They have a really cool team this year. Their defense is like really friggin' mean. Their offense didn't play super well during their like. I didn't realize they do like scrimmages because they played the Panthers in the first preseason game, but before that, they went to like Carolina earlier and they were doing like scrimmage practices with their like first string squad against first string squad, and they showed that in Hard Knocks, which was pretty cool. All right, I think I should get into making some music. Oh, Christian Watson's one of the rewind cards. I guess I just don't have him. I got Cooks. Cooks had the best stats, so I went for him. Watson. I think you're right. Yeah, there he is. I feel like he didn't have great stats, right? Yeah, 91 speed. That's why I stayed away from him. You generally want like high speed and high stamina for a wide receiver. 91, not great. I don't know how he's doing in real life. But then if you look at like Cooks is who I got. I got the blueprint and upgrade him, but well, that's a different set anyway. But yeah, this dude's a beast. 128 speed. I think he has low stamina though, 88. That's something I've been noticing. A lot of the really high speed wide receivers have low stamina, so it's kind of a trade-off. Unless you have like Tyreek as a mythical, but that's why I haven't. I mean, I listed my Diggs, but he's kind of at a price he's not selling at. But Diggs doesn't have the best speed. Like his speed is 124. Not that great. Like as you just saw, a rare. But then 114 stamina. So if you only have one play left into the fourth quarter, like this guy's going to make it way farther than Cooks does. I have him listed for $999. If he sold at $999, I wouldn't be mad, but I think they're selling for like $500 right now. I list a lot of my cards just at like, I guess, flex prices or like prices I wouldn't be sad to see them go at. Like my Tyler Bass, Tyler Bass. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I have mint number 2 and his jersey number is 2. So I was just listed him at 2222. I was like, I don't think anybody's going to actually pay that. But if you want his jersey number, I'm the only one in the world that has it. So you got to pay that price. This is one of my pride cards. I have him at level 15. I actually misclicked. I didn't mean to promote him to level 15, but I don't think I'll be selling him. He's also like, I think Wagner is the new mythical is probably better than him, but I feel like he's like a legendary level epic. Same with Austin Ekeler. He's basically as good as like the mythic or the legendary running backs. I don't know if he's as good as Kamara, the mythical, but his speed is 150 and his stamina is 130 at base, which is just like incredible stats for a running back. All right, let's do a giveaway and then get into some music creation. This is a Twitch integrated giveaway game. If you type !neon, you will enter the giveaway. For the Wax folks, you all are used to this. You know what's up. But I guess if Chai or any of the Rivals folks want to get into this, we give away NFTs on the Wax blockchain. It's an EOSIO blockchain. I believe you can still sign up for a wallet for free if you just link your Facebook account. Like if you link a social account, you can get a free wallet, and then we will send you the NFT for free. There's no gas fees. You don't need to claim anything. So pretty low risk / buy-in. We're not asking you to buy anything, and we can send you an NFT just totally for free. And I'm also happy to walk people through creating a Wax account. And even if you don't want to like sign up with your Facebook, you can sign up with just like a Gmail account. You can make a burner Gmail account, and it does cost like 10 Wax or something to create a new account. But I'm happy to I will seed fund your new wallet with my Wax. So I'm happy to help people get into the chain if they'd like a free NFT. And I'll give away an NFT from our collection. We've got some soccer themed NFTs. Since we're talking about football, we'll do the other football. Yeah, my screen's doing weird things. We've got a Circuity Henry, which is a pun on, is it Thierry Henry? I think he's a famous soccer player. I don't know much about soccer. Mark, who writes our lore, came up with the name of it and the pun. This is actually usable in it's like a soccer simulation blockchain game on the Wax blockchain. It gives everybody in your starting 11 +2 marking. So if you're into soccer simulation games, this helps with that. But also if you just like collecting artwork, that's cool too. And if you've never used Wax before, you could buy this, or not buy this, you could win this and then sell this, and then you could buy something you actually do want on chain if you don't like this. So these giveaways are kind of a nice way to get people into the blockchain if you have no stake. Oh my gosh, this is not good. I might have to redo this if this is gonna... All right, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm gonna have to refresh this. My browser just like broke, but I'm not gonna be able to do Grubfish. So what the hell? This content not supported because your device's software. Oh, I guess I need the update. All right, everybody. Hold start. Here, hold tight. I will need you to retype !neon though, because my browser just had like a fart. My apologies. !neon. If you'd like to enter the Circuity Henry giveaway, mint number 249. I'm going to have this going in the background, but I'm going to actually work on some music, so we're not going to run this immediately. I'll put the banner up so people know what's up. But let's see. There we go. This is why we got the double view. I'll show you what I was working on last night. So for those of y'all who are haven't been catching our stream, we're making a profile picture project on Wax. It's one of those things where there's, traits and then there's random traits for each one. But one thing I'm trying to do, because I'm a musician and not a visual artist, is I'm trying to do musical traits. So I'm trying to make drums, bass, piano, and guitar, and then do a bunch of different genres and then mash them up. So there'll be like 1,000 8-second loops for 1,000 different profile pictures. No two loops will be exactly the same. Every one will be a unique combination. So right now I'm going through and just busting out the different kind of like, I call them hero songs. So they all match, and then I'll try to mash them up. Also see if this even works. Hopefully this works. I've been pitching it, but I feel like proof of concept is working all right. Oh, Chai already has a .wham wallet. I didn't know you were on Wax. I know Blankos was on like a EOS private chain. I kept trying to convince in the chat. I kept trying to convince Mythical to make a bridge to Wax for Blancos. I would lose my shit if there was a bridge to Wax, but now that they're going to be bridged to the Mythical chain, which is a like Ether layer 2, I feel like it's more likely to get bridges to like Polygon and those Ether based chains than EOS IO based chains. But a man can dream. I'd love Blancos on Wax. And yes, I am making new music. I have to make like 1,000 new songs basically, but I don't have to make 1,000 traits, and they're all, I don't know, they're overlapping. So we're gonna see. I guess I can show you a little demo. This is what I was working on last night. I worked on the country song. But yeah, so that's the first one. But then you can see like, okay, instead of country drums, let's try putting, what genre should we do? Punk drums, and it'll change the drums. So I got a bunch of different drum beats. What else can we do? Rock drums. So I'm recording everything at the same tempo and in the same key. So like technically they all overlap, but then some might not just sound good. So it's not going to be randomly generated. Like I'm going to physically or manually choose all 1,000 renders to make sure they sound good. Because like metal drums is probably not going to sound good with country, but let's see. Honestly, sounds better than I thought it was gonna sound. That's kind of fire. Okay, let's try rock drums and let's start mixing it up. Let's say we don't want country piano. Let's put in disco piano. So like each one of those would be a different song technically, which is how we're going to get 1,000 of them without making 1,000. But yeah, today what I'm going to do on stream is I'm going to make a new genre. So I'm trying to knock out like one genre a day because I got to do a lot of these and then I have to render 1,000 of them, which is going to take a while. So right now I'm kind of on the genre creation process, but I'll show you what I have so far. So I showed you country. Also got to name this better, naming conventions. It's going to be a nightmare trying to like keep all this organized because not only do I have to make 1,000 of these, then these have to be imported into 1,000 different videos that Max has to render. So then we need to like keep track because these traits are going to be like scored on a rarity score thing, but they'll only be scored correctly if all the traits are correct on Atomic Hub or wherever we input the immutable data. So we have to keep track of like what immutable data is going with each render. That's also going to take a shit ton of time to manually type out like 1,000 different things, 1,000 different uploads with the different traits. But so I'm trying to finish everything. I'm trying to finish like the music by September, and then we're trying to launch this at the end of September. So that gives me like a month to render everything and organize all the data. I'm going to make a spreadsheet where like, okay, this file name has this, this, and this. So then when Max adds it to his, he'll put his file name with my file name, and then we'll have all the traits in a spreadsheet. So it'll be easy for us to mint them properly. Let's see. I'll show you disco next. Disco is kind of my bread and butter. I've been doing a lot of disco music outside of disco soul funk. That's what I do outside of the NFT space. Oops, I just did reggae drums. Yeah, I love disco. All right, that's disco. I did reggae. Let's check out this reggae one. Shout out to Jolly. Jolly from our Neon Space community is a big reggae lover, so this one goes out to Jolly. Oops, I forgot the bass. I will say the reggae is kind of hard to mash up with the other genres because it has such a different feel. Reggae works okay with like the jazz. Like if I do the jazz drums, it's not bad. Oops, I forgot to mute the reggae drums. It also works okay with the blues because the blues has a swing. That's reggae. Let's see, I can show you blues I also did. And this one I cheated a little bit. I added lead guitar. So there's 2 guitar tracks, but I'll probably render those together as a single trait. So if blues guitar goes on the other songs will be 2, but oh, I wasn't doing the keys. But this is what it'd sound like without the lead guitar. Taking that bass for a walk. This is what the guitar parts sound like together. All right. I think today I'm going to try to do the funk. I don't know. I guess the audience can decide if you want. I haven't done rock yet. I think that's pretty much the walk this way drum beat. They told me to walk this way. I haven't done jazz. Jazz I'm probably going to have to do off stream. I'm not that good at jazz, so I'm going to have to like look up tutorials and like I don't know, especially for the piano. Like I need these really complex chords, so I'm going to have to mess around with that. But I do all the drums first and then build off the drums. Jazz is swinging on the ride, and then instead of a snare drum, you close left foot close on the hi-hat instead of a snare drum. This is funk. This is the Funky Drummer drum beat from James Brown. Funky Drummer. We got EDM, which is the Amen break. We got metal. This is ripped off from Metallica. I believe One is the song. The guitar's like darkness. We already did country, and I think punk is the only other one. Punk would also be very easy for me because I played punk growing up for years. But no matter what, they have to follow. I have these guide chords. I generally do. I start with the guide chords and then the drums, and then I record bass around it, and then I'll record guitar, and then I usually mute the guide chords and do a different piano part around it. But I use the guide chords so I know like all of these have to be following the same chord progression, or they won't layer over each other. So I have these guide chords just to like. just so I can do it's kind of like a reference track, I guess. Let's do funk though. I don't know. One sec, I got a guitar up. I'm also not used to recording with headphones. I'm much more into speakers, but because I have this microphone running, it's here. I can show you. Oop. Oh boy, this is not going well. There. I got my speakers right here, microphones right here. We're going to get horrible feedback if I'm blasting sound through those speakers and trying to use this mic. And also, why not? Let's show off my my rack here. It's all my audio engineering equipment. And I got my guitars behind me. I set those up so I don't have to... Normally those are hidden better in my room. I don't have them just right in the smack dab in the middle of my room, but since I'm recording on stream today, I don't have to like go off camera to grab stuff. All right, bass acquired. Now I gotta plug in. A big thing for me is workflow. Like if I have an idea, I hate having to like stop to record the idea. So like my bass is already plugged in. I don't know if you can hear that. You actually probably cannot hear that bass. Let me make a... Yeah, everything's already plugged in. The gain's already set up. So all I have to do is plug and play. And that's big for me because I don't like having to like wire stuff up. And I have like all this nice outboard gear. I generally don't use most of it when I'm recording by myself because I find it to be more of a hindrance than helpful. When I'm recording with clients, I use like my outboard compressors and like my nice preamps and stuff, but I generally just plug in right in my interface and I have the wires and everything just good to go. It's hard to like, I don't know, when you engineer your own stuff, to me, there's like creative brain and technical brain. And if I get into the technical brain, it takes me out of the creative brain. So I don't like to interrupt the creative flow with technical stuff. Let's see. Now you should be able to hear this, I think. I'm like, where's my camera? It's a little bit of funk warm up. Trying to figure out a bass line I like. I feel like the octave thing is just too basic. That's my instinct is just to do 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 do. So I'm trying to figure out like fill notes, because that's kind of like it's hard hard explaining the creative process while also doing it. But yeah. So like the I would say like the outline of the bass line is but I want to do some like in between notes, like so I want to figure out some of those just in between things, so it's not just boring. So this is just what is this? Just root. This is the root note. This is the octave, and then this is the. I don't know. I'm bad at music theory. The fifth? That's not the fifth, is it? It's like one note below the fifth, so the fourth? I don't know. I'm not great at music theory, not gonna lie, but octave is just like the most simple friggin' bass line you can do. It's also pretty disco-y if you're like. I'll do that. I feel like I can live with that. All right, let's try a couple takes. I generally just play through it like 5 or 6 times, and then I'll comp together the best sounding takes, because I don't always play it perfectly. I liked that one. That's also what a lot of times I'll do, is I'll keep playing it until I feel like it's good. And then I'll listen back, and sometimes it's not always good. I didn't like that last note. I'm going to record a couple more. Fucked up. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. Not happy with pretty much any of those. I feel like I'm getting a little nervous. I'm not used to people watching me track. It makes it a little more intense. Normally I'm nerding out in my bedroom by myself. Nobody will ever hear my fuck ups, but I'm broadcasting my fuck ups to the whole world right now. like a couple of those are okay. All right. Next step of the process: unplug my guitar and figure out what works from that. I've also got these sweet wires. They're like shielded, so when this gets pulled back, you don't get the noise when you click it. It only works if you're. So I like those. So I can just rip stuff out of my guitar without hearing the nasty speaker noise. All right, editing time. For me, groove is really important on bass. So what I'm doing here. Oh shit! I'm not even showing my screen. I'm an idiot. Or am I? What's going on here? Here we go. So here you can see all the takes I just did. What I just did was I'll show you why I did this. That one is rushed. I should have been hitting this note earlier. So then I go through and I check which one does hit it earlier. That one's also rushed. This one you can see this file's happening later. I like a more laid back feel on bass. I don't want it to feel rushed. And this is the same thing. This is a little rushed. So I'm going to try to find one that's later. That one feels a little too behind. So let's see if we can split the difference. I don't like that either. One of these has got to be good. That was so close to being good. This note's a little bum. I like that. All right, so once we have the note selection we want, I like to flatten it. This all takes up data and processing and stuff. Once I have what I like, I just delete everything else and click flatten. I used to be all about saving everything all the time. I'm like, it's digital, there's no reason. But like, for me, part of the creative process is trusting your intuition and having confidence in your decisions. Otherwise, it becomes a nightmare and you just have way too much crap going on. And this project is going to have like 80 tracks in it because I have to do all the different bouncing. I'm just playing with the backing track I don't have a click on right now. That'd be with the click. That's also why I do drums first, because I like to get the rhythm down. I don't know. Clicks always feel too, what's the word? I guess like robotic to me. Like I feel like I can't groove on a click as well as I can a drum track. So I like to know what the drums are actually going to sound like. So I generally build the drums first and then build around that, which is why I did all the drums first. Let's see. Next step is to put effects on it. Same thing. I'm about to have 40 to 60 tracks. My computer can't process all of that. It'll explode if I have plugins on all these tracks. So I put the plugins on and then I just print them. And that means I can't change them later. But again, just do what you think sounds good and don't worry about it. That's how it used to be back in the day. Like I love 50s and 60s and 70s recording. And back then they used to run the bass through the compressor before it hit the tape machine. And you can't take it off once it hits the tape machine. Once you hit tape, you're good. So like, I don't know. I kind of treat the process like old. And it's like, no, I don't know, in 3 weeks from now, if I decide it's too compressed, oh well, I can either re-record it or live with it. And that's just the way I like working. I don't like having all the options all the time. I always cheat a little bit. I use the base factory preset, but the presets don't work for input gain. So like if you are going to use presets, they're usually good for the attack and the release and the ratio, but they will not work for like this meter needs to be dialed in. So I'll hit play. This is doing like 10 to 20 decibels of compression. That's too much compression. I want light compression on my bass. I like my bass playing. I like my dynamics. I just want to smooth them out a bit. So I'll lower the input gain here. And that's much better, like 3 to 4 decibels of compression. Compression, if you're not an audio person, is it makes the quiet parts louder, basically. And it makes the loud parts not necessarily quieter. It just evens everything out. So there's less dynamics. If your waveform is like, where's my camera? Spread out here, it just makes it more like this. So the loudness between the quietest note and the loudest note is less. So it makes everything more audible. And yeah, it's a balance because like dynamics is good music. You don't want it to just everything be the exact same volume. But at the same time, I don't want my quiet notes to get buried in the mix. So I usually do some light compression on bass. Light compression on most things, if we're being honest. The drums are heavily compressed. Compression also can sound really cool. If you hit a compressor hard, it'll start to like distort and sound nasty. Let's see. Maybe I'll put some EQ on the bass. So one thing about bass is it kind of gets lost in headphones if you don't have high end. High end is string noise. And since this is funk, I want my bass to be really present. So I'm going to maybe turn up like 2K up a decibel. We'll play with it. 4K up a little bit. I also feel like it could have a little meat. So let's turn up 125. So okay, this is with the EQ, without it. Without EQ. Oh yeah, it sounds way better at the low end boosted. I feel like we could even go more. Without. These clicks are also because my computer sucks. Those will go away when I render it. With. It's a nice funky bass sound. And then to bake the effects end, I'm going to save too because my computer crashes sometimes. You do bounce in place. This is what I do it. And this essentially renders everything, all the effects on it. And we'll call it funk bass. And then once that's there, why is it giving me such a long bounce? It gives me a new stereo track with the effects on it, and then I delete the original track. Boom. Now we can make no adjustments to like the bass track. It's gone. Print it and forget it. And honestly, when I'm mixing like a normal song, I'm not bouncing everything immediately because like when I add the keyboard, it might change the way I want to EQ the bass. But like just for this project, it's going to be a nightmare if I have all the plugins on everything. So printing and forgetting, and then I'll build the keyboard around the bass sound now. Let's see. We'll do guitar next. Makes sense. A trusty Danelector DC59. You know what, let's do a Grubfish giveaway. We'll do a giveaway and then we'll do the guitar because y'all been watching for an hour. Y'all deserve a giveaway. Let's go. Let's get rid of this for a second. I assume there's grubfish music. I can't hear it because I'm not plugged in. Love seeing our grubbies with the backpacks. Those backpacks and those trails are NFTs. So they're cosmetic NFTs. If you link your wallet to your Twitch account, when you join the giveaway, you have cosmetics, which is one of my favorite. Oh no, Chai just went down. One of my favorite use cases of like NFTs on the Wax blockchain is like, this is just so fun. So I feel like the whole point of like having these cool digital things is like your digital Lambo to flex it. And what a perfect way to flex the NFTs you own by like showing it away on a live stream giveaway. So shout out to Crittercraft. GB is down. KY versus John Weed. Oh, John Weed taken out. KY living to tell the tale. All right, KY, you just won a Circuitry Henri NFT from the Neon Space Collection. And this is before we did music on Naked, so unfortunately this one will not have music. But for all future Nakeds, we've been doing music. Which Naked is just kind of like one of the higher rarity NFTs in our collection. It used to be only the Neon rarity had music, but we're like Nakeds are also supposed to be like the chase cards, so we should give those music. And it makes me happy because like, I don't know, not a lot of people are even getting to hear my music now that the Nakeds have music. A few more people get to hear these compositions I make. All right. Our next giveaway will be, we can give away a Sune Tea Time pack. Or Tea Party pack. These are from the Sune collection. Valor and Vellum is the creator, friend of the brand, friend of the Neon Space. She's a IRL visual artist. She makes watercolor paintings, and the watercolor paintings are like scanned and then turned into NFTs. But if you collect a level set, you can blend them into a new NFT that could be a virtual in real life VRL redemption token. So you can like get an actual physical watercolor painting from her, which we think is super cool. She also sells artwork at like Comic-Con and collector conventions, and she will give people digital versions of the physical. So like if you go buy one of her pins, then you might get a NFT version of the pin. So I think she does great things. She's onboarding people to the Wax space, and also like legitimate collectors, not ROI hunters. I think there's room for both, but Wax definitely did get a little like clicker heavy and people just trying to earn. So as somebody who runs a collectible brand and is an artist, finding people that are just interested in collecting artwork is great for us. So we are really happy with the work she's doing in the Wax space. Exclamation point Neon if you'd like to win one of her Tea Party promo packs. What's going on, Mahala? Yeah, I got this second cam because I have a second computer on. Let's see, we don't have the Neon music. So that's where the music audio is coming from. All right, back to the music. Give life back to music. And we'll have this Crittercraft going in the background. Next up is guitar. Not yet. The cloning technology hasn't quite got there, but in the future, who knows? Maybe there'll be. If I could clone myself, I could have a full band. I can play all the instruments, just only one of me. I don't know. I wouldn't want clones of me out there. I don't trust multiple me. That's some Black Mirror stuff. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I have a dark bias speed of Virgo, but I feel like if you make a clone, they might try to kill you and take your place. Like that's my first thought is like, why would I don't know. Everybody's like, I'm gonna make a clone and make them do all the shit I don't want to do. It's like, why would they do that? Like they're the same thing as you. They're gonna have the same mindset as you. They're gonna be like, I want my real me to do all me, and I want to do fun shit as the clone. So I don't trust like that. I don't trust my own clone. Also, clones start at like baby. So like if you cloned yourself, it would be a 0-year-old you. And, you know, I'm 32, so it'd take 32 years for it to catch up to where I am. And then at that point, I would be 64. When I'm 64, you'll be older too. I don't quite have the pipes that Paul McCartney has. That's the other thing, is they wouldn't have all the knowledge you have. You'd have to teach them everything you learned. And then also, you know, it's nature versus nurture. They might not come out the same as you. All right, we got the guitar plugged in. I don't think you can hear it right now. Let me make a new track. I also can't hear anything you guys are hearing as far as like if the audio is messed up. You'll have to let me know. You should be able to hear the guitar now, though. I think you can only hear things that are coming through this recording software, and it has to be input enabled. I need a guitar pick if we're playing funk music that is not a fingerstyle music. My trusty, I keep forgetting where my camera is. Spectrum, trusty Spectrum. A little bit of Rolling Stones to warm up. I'm a little rusty. That was not great. I told you once, I told you twice. You never listen to my advice. Don't try very hard to please, man. Oh, I'm butchering it. I should practice before I come on stream. That used to be one of the covers I do. I haven't been singing and playing in a long time. Been doing studio stuff where you don't have to do both at the same time. So I think for my funk guitar, I'm going to try to not really play the top 3 strings. It's like when I think of funk, I think of like Nile Rodgers. I think of James Brown. And James Brown's guitarist is not playing like... He's doing like... And same with Nile Rodgers. It's like they only play like the top strings. So since we're doing funk, I don't know. I'm just going to fuck around for a bit. I got to figure out what I'm trying to play. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play what I have recorded already. What do y'all think? Should I do a more chordy thing? It could be fun just to do one of these. Sometimes I like that. I also feel like funk music's good when it's droney. The main reason I don't want to do the other one is because I already did disco, and I feel like it's just going to turn into the same thing if I do like the... Like, I feel like that's too much like the disco guitar. Let's listen to that. I guess it's pretty different. It's a way different groove. Maybe I will do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do both. Let's fuck around with it a little more. right, let's try that. Felt pretty good about that one. All right, let's get back to comping. I'm pretty anal about my own, but this one, I feel like the space in between the da 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 is slightly off. When you're playing funk guitar, it's like you're playing drums. The rhythm needs to be real precise. Same with the bass. Like, I'm almost more concerned with the rhythm than I am. Like, if the note doesn't fully ring out, that's fine. Like, I'm fine if it's like a muted or cuffed. Like if it's not all the way down, that's fine. It's just the rhythm needs to be good. So I'm gonna try. That's why I do multiple takes. That one also feels a little. The second half feels a little pushed. Pull is when you're ahead of the beat. Push is behind. Later, Chai. Thanks for hanging. Also, thanks for all your work with Mythical. Rivals is definitely my favorite game right now. Been loving Blankos for years, and I play Nitro Nation every day now. So I'm playing 3 Mythical games every day. But have a good rest of your day. Peace out. One of these takes has to be okay. I don't like that one either. Worst case scenario, I can just chop off the number 4 and put it on number 1. Ooh, that one sounded clean. I feel like the very first hit on the 4th one's off now. And look at that. It's early. It should be like right here. There it is. I feel like that third one sounds a little weird. It's the da-da-da-da part that sounds weird, so let's just try to replace that. Nope, that ain't it. I think that's good. You know what, just for funsies, I'm going to record a second guitar part. So I do kind of want to hear what the ticka thing sounds in there. What a great way to describe it. The ticka thing. You all know the ticka thing. And I don't know. I like just droning one note because I could be like. That's not even the right note. I could be like. That would be like following the actual chords of the song. But I feel like funk, the drone is what makes it funky. If you just go, and you don't change the note over the chords. I'll show you what that sounds like real quick. We're going to do that. This might be like blues where both those guitar parts will be considered one trait as far as the NFT blockchain side of stuff goes, but I don't know. I'm a guitar player. I have more ideas on guitar than the other instruments. Fucked up there at the end. Take two is definitely the money. It's just I messed up the beginning part, so I wanted to redo that. Do a little comping. God, I'm so anal about my own playing, but I rushed one of the notes there. Let's see if I did it better on this take. It's right here. Don't know if I like that either. Maybe I should have done more takes. Just these two. Perfect. There we go. We recorded just enough. I'm going to flatten these so we can get rid of all the other takes. We're printing it. Now I'm going to put some effects on the guitars. I'm going to unplug my guitar real quick to do that. All right. Now I use pretty much the same plugin most of the time on guitar. And that is who makes it? Neural DSP. It's the Archetype Corey Wong. It's like a guitar amp DI simulator. And this has really nice clean tones because I like clean, funky guitar. I don't know if y'all, let me get rid of this for a second. Let me show you Corey Wong. If you don't know Corey Wong, He's like one of my favorite guitarists and artists right now. He's a member of the band Wolfpack. Wolfpack is a huge influence for me. That's how I found Corey Wong. But he's also his own solo musician as well. Here's Corey. Oh, I can't hear it. Let's see if I can find him promoting this plugin, though. Here we go. That bass sounds sick, too. He normally does like way more funky funk. He does a lot of like James Brownie stuff. Anyway, Corey Wong rocks. He partnered to make his own plugin with Neural, so I bought it. What's going on, Rexinator? I'm working on some music today. Doing grub fishes in the background every once in a while, but showing off guitar plugins. Let's see. That's with the plugin. This is without the plugin. It's a little quacky for me right now. So let's figure out some different settings. I also like that they have recordings, like specific songs that Corey Wong made, and I'll just be like, yeah, I like Cosmic Sand sound, so let's try that one. I also normally cut the lows on guitar. I want my bass to sound good. So I just cut out usually anything below like 160 hertz. Which I believe 160 hertz is the low E on a guitar. I believe 80 hertz is the low E on a bass. Every note has its own frequency, and I only really know the frequencies for audio engineering, because if you cut below 106 or above 160, then you're actually cutting out the root note of the guitar chord. So let's see. So it's with it. Cuts out a little bit of the meat. I might take it down at 250 a little bit too. But that makes it so the bass shines through more. Like if you listen to, let's see. So this is with the EQ on. With it off. If you notice subtly, the bass sounds louder when it's on, because if you were here earlier, I boosted 250 hertz a bunch on the bass. The bass is living at 250 hertz. So if I scoop a little 250 out of the guitar, then the bass peaks through better. This guitar is also too loud right now. But yeah, I think that's good for guitar. We're just going to bounce it. Disco. No, not disco. Funk. Guitar 1. Delete the original. Just pray this sounds good. Ooh. Something weird happened there. Uh-oh. It chopped off the first part of the note. I probably should have listened to that before I bounced it. But lucky for us, it's the same chord here, so I'll just... Here's another thing I like doing. I like doing a trim, a copy, and then you undo the trim, and then you paste. But I just want the first note because I want these performances to be more live. So because our first note got chopped off, we're just going to give it one of these guys. And then I'll change the crossfade tool. We'll give it a quick crossfade so we got no pops. I feel like I want some groovy cowbell in here. Let's add some cowbell. Cowbell funk break. Let's see what that's. So let's add some cowbell in there. Drag this track up so we can see it with what we're working on. We've already got a lot of tracks in here. Profile picture stuff. All right. There's maybe a little too much cowbell. Maybe we'll just chop some out. See what that sounds like. Maybe we do the opposite. I don't know. I like it steady. I don't like chopping it. The snare isn't really popping out enough for me on the drums, so I'm going to boost the EQ on the drums. I'm going to bounce in place because I don't like having plugins on my tracks. All right, now we just need the second guitar part and the keys. Funk Guitar 2, name it. This one I'm going to build from scratch. I'm not going to use a preset. The Clean Machine, DI Funk Console. That's exactly what we want here. For this one, I want way less high end and way less low end, way more high end. So we're going to do like boost 4K, boost 8K. See what that sounds like. So here's with it, without it. Too much bass. Let's do this one. I said you don't want to cut off the low note. This one I do. So let's do 250. And then honestly, you can see here, there's a lot of beef here. I don't really want that beef. Okay, this is starting the groove, y'all. I'm getting into it. If I could scream like James Brown, I would. Get up! Get on up! Get up! Get on the scene! Like a sex machine! The timing's also going to be way off because I'm singing into a microphone that's not connected to the recording software. I'm going to bounce that in place. I'm happy with how this is sounding. Now we just need to do the piano because these are just guide chords. This is not the actual piano part. So we'll duplicate that. We'll copy it. We'll paste it. Oops, that's a bad paste. Oops, I don't want to delete the guide chord. So we'll just mute this because we're going to use this for the other instruments, the other genres. And then probably just chop this up, honestly. So what is the rhythm? Bum, bum, ba, bum. Bum, bum, ba, bum. Is that what we should do? This one, we want this to be a little late. That's 2 on the beat. It needs to be like half beat there. Nope, that's way wrong. Maybe it needs to be earlier. I don't know. Something's not quite right there. I'm also not very good at piano, so I usually program my piano parts. I think it's not a half beat. It just needs to be like a little early. It's 2 on the grid right now. It sounds like a robot playing. That's right. Then we do the old copy pasta. That's not the right chord. Let's see. This is a A, so that needs to be here. Why does that sound so weird? Oh, because the bass note is wrong? No, the bass note is right. Why does it say B minor 7? Oh, so I'm dumb. It needs to be here. But then our voicing's whack, so we'll take this G and we'll pull it up. And this is just a half step up from that one. Oops, I didn't do the half step up. And then the last chord is the same as the first chord, so we'll just copy that. I like doing voicings. I wasn't really explaining what I was doing there, but like when I copy and paste and just drag this down, then too many notes were going down. Like a real piano player doesn't just move their hand around the piano. Like they will change the inversions of the notes. So what I did was like, it's not going to undo it, but there's a G down here. So it just sounds like it's a different tonality than the first one. Because then it was like, wah, 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 and this one's like, da, 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 da. So voicing is using the same notes in a different part of the piano. So I drag them up to be higher. So it's closer to, if you're looking at this, they live in the same space instead of it being like moving the whole shape down. You change the shape in the same position. That's more of like what a real piano player would do rather than someone writing piano music like I'm doing. Now that I'm listening with the other stuff, we do not want all that meat on the end of these. Like we want these to be little stabs. We don't want this to be a held out chord. So let's do this. I think we actually don't want this at all. We're just going do, 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 do. Oh, we got the bass note. That's what's going on here. These bass notes, we do not need to be that long. You know what? We'll just delete these bass notes. We want our bass to be our bass. Something's still not quite sounding right to me. I think this needs to be earlier. I think I'm pulling on the rhythm on the guitar, so I need to... Too much. I just want it to be like a fraction of a second behind the beat. We're getting there, and I feel like this needs to be somewhere else too. Probably be easier if I could just play it, because like I can feel the rhythm. I just can't. It's hard to program funk rhythms. You know what else I can do? I can look at the guitar and I can match that. It's right here. So that's where we want the notes to be, because that's where the guitar is landing. There it is. That sounds right. Let's see if that sounds like without the guitars and stuff. Then our last question, is this the piano sound we want? Somebody earlier saying flute. We could do a Mellotron flute and see what that sounds like. One of these days, I can do a song where like I'll take audience suggestions and I can build it around the instruments you want to hear. Haven't really been doing that today, but in the future, I'd be open to that as like a stream. Mellotron is like what the Beatles used on Strawberry Fields. It's got that classic flute sound. I also feel like we're in the wrong octave here. We're playing kind of meaty piano. We want like a more progressive piano, so let's go up an octave. Oh shit, that was the wrong direction. Let's try multiple flutes instead of one flute. I like that. I don't think that's what we're trying to do here. Let me plug in my keyboard so I can play some random flute stuff just for fun. Let me see if I can figure out what are the chords to Strawberry Fields real quick. Strawberry Fields chords. Capo first fret. God, go fuck yourself. I hate people that write songs with capos. It's like I need to know what the chords are on piano. I'll play it how it would be capoed, but this is going to be a half stuff. Take me down, 'cause I'm going to to strawberry fields. I'm butchering this. Well, let's just pretend that didn't happen. There's no way I'm singing that correctly in headphones with piano in the wrong key. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields forever. Strawberry fields forever. Anyway, that was a failed experiment. And let's get rid of the sound. I do not like this in the context of this song. I'll probably use an electric keyboard like I already had. A Wurlitzer's like what you hear on all the 70s recordings. Wurlitzer or a Fender Rhodes. They're a... Get Grubfish back up. Wurlitzer and Fender Rhodes are electric pianos, but they have hammers and stuff within them. So they're actually like, you know, they have keys that hit hammers that hit strings, but then they have guitar pickups underneath them. So they end up being like the electric guitar version of a piano. And they're big, like, you know, if you listen to like Stevie Wonder, or, I don't know, Hall & Oates use them a lot. Like lots of people from the 60s and 70s were using Wurlitzer and Fender Rhodes, but they have pretty good Fender Rhodes sounds in here. So let's do they call it the vintage electric piano. I've been using the Wurlitzer and everything, so let's use a Bright Suitcase. Let's see what that sounds like. Classic electric piano. Let's do the Bright. I like it. Now I feel like there's too much stuff happening in that registry. Maybe we take it down an octave, even though I already put it back up. Maybe we put some like tremolo or something on there, make it cool. Some gain. Here's what we're looking for. Sounds a little Pink Floyd-y. I like that. I don't know. I don't like that in the context of the mix. Psych. Maybe we just want chorus. What's going on here? I'm going to take a little of the bass out of here. Same thing with the guitar. We don't want to get in the bass's way. We want the bass to really be... EQ, baby. Let's Do it at 160. Turn down a little bit, 250. You know what? I think that's a wrap. I like that. Don't need to add anything else. We got all of our different parts. Ooh, Funk Guitar 1 is not bounced in place, though. Let's bounce that in place. Or it is bounced in place. What is not bounced in place? Piano is not bounced in place. Funk keys. Funky funk keys. Then we'll delete that. Get rid of the reverb on it. I'm going to add reverb to all of these tracks at the end, so they're all in the same reverb, and I'm not running a bajillion reverb tracks, but it automatically adds them when I add new instruments. Delete. That's how you make a funky track. Do you want to see maybe what that sounds like with... I don't know. Let's try a funk bass with disco drums. Funk guitar. Let's do all the funk with just the disco drums. Play around with our PFP trait situation. Almost like that better. That grooves. Let's go. Let's try it with some rock drums. Works over that. Let's try it with some heavy metal drums. Let's get weird, y'all. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Let's try it with EDM drums. Let's try it with let's do disco bass, EDM drums. Let's do disco bass, rock drums, and the funk guitars. And for the hell of it, let's throw in some reggae keys instead of funk keys. Let's get weird. Hell yeah. This is starting to come together, y'all. I've been really worried this stuff is not going to mash up and I will not be able to make 1,000 of these renders. But just clicking through some of this stuff, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. Some of this stuff doesn't work for sure, but there's enough of this that sounds good together that I think I'll make it work. Let's play the funk. Pretty proud of how funky this is sounding. I want to play it just one more time. All right, let's do another Grubfish. I think that's going to be a wrap. It's a wrap on Neon Music. Get rid of these headphones. Got headphone hair. GG's though. That was fun. I don't know if y'all enjoyed that. Might have been long and gratuitous, but that was work I needed to get done. Normally we do tech talk today. Max talks about like market trading and all that stuff. I'm not an analysis of charts and shit. I can't do that, and Max is out, so figured I'll show you what I'm good at, which is making music and mixing and stuff. So went over some technical music theory stuff. We went over some mixing stuff. Don't know if it was interesting, but I had fun. Now let's get into some crypto stuff. This is for our Sune giveaway. Thanks for hanging, though. In the future, I do think it'd be fun to do some sort of a interactive version of that, where like y'all tell me what instrument to pick, or maybe tell me what genre to do, and I'll try to do it around your suggestions. We can do votes and stuff, but yeah, for this I have a pretty specific like target goal for the profile picture, so I kind of got to do what I got to do to finish the project. It's a lot of work. But now I have free time after this. What I was supposed to do today was that. So now that that's done, maybe I'll finish editing my NFL Rivals video. I have the NFL Rivals free-to-play bootcamp video, which I did the first one, but I have the second two shot, and I just need to edit and voiceover narrate them. Max and Paul are also getting back today, so shout out to Max and Paul, the neon artists, the visual artists. Got to get them back into the neon sweatshop to keep working on the neon profile pictures. Random King, congrats. We'll do one more Grubfish. I have been streaming for 2 hours, so I'll probably call it pretty soon. This is also a pretty different process than how I make all of the other neon music. So all of the other neon music doesn't need to be like layered on top of itself. So like I don't really have a lot of choices as far as chords go. Like once the chord and the tempos are set, I can't change any of that because they all have to be able to lay over on top of each other. And then also I'm trying to do 4 traits. Like these are traits that need to exist on the chain. So like I can't just start adding like, oh, I want a flute here. Like you either have a keyboard or a flute. Like the flute is going to be the keyboard trait or not. Like I can't just start adding like cool sound effects and stuff because those, I don't know. Usually it's much more tailored to the song, but this has to be very general. So it's been a pretty different composition experience than what I normally do, but it's still fun to show it off. And this is also an experiment. This is the first time I've ever done this. As far as I know, this is the first time anybody on Wax has done this. So yeah, it's kind of weird trying to compose 1,000 songs out of like all in the same key, tempo and whatnot. I'm actually pretty excited how it's turning out though. I was afraid it was just not going to work at all, and it seems to be working pretty good. All right, prize cents. We will give away. Oh shit! I hit exclamation point neon. If you want to join this giveaway, we'll give away one of Buzz King's. Shout out to Buzz King, friend of the Neon Space. One of his Dogzilla Woof Rider packs, and both these and the Sune collection have drops open right now on Nifty Blocks. So if you want to participate in their blends, these are both packs that include blend ingredients. They're both reasonably priced on Nifty. Consider supporting the artists. But this will be our last giveaway, and then I haven't eaten yet today. I had a banana before we started just because I needed some steam to keep going. But I'm going to cook myself some food. I've been making a lot of burgers lately. Back into Burger Town. I got some sweet and spicy pickles. They're like pickled with peppers in the pickle. The pickle juice, I guess you'd call it. And they're freaking delicious. I love these sweet and spicy pickles. I put them on my hamburger, my hamburglar. That was actually something I didn't pull up, but we have there's a McDonald's profile picture thing that came out. Grimace, I think his name is, right? You know what? I'll just Google it. I can't find it. What's going on, Zate? We're doing a Grubfish giveaway. I just finished spending like an hour and a half composing music on stream, finishing some of the music for our profile picture project. I personally think it turned out pretty freaking good. You know, I can't disagree with that, but McDonald's hits a certain like nostalgia flavor that nothing else does. Like McDonald's doesn't taste like real hamburgers, but you can't make cheeseburgers that taste like McDonald's cheeseburgers. You just can't. Like that shit is fucking. It tastes super fake and processed, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just have a craving for that like fake ass McDonald's taste. It's probably because I grew up eating it. It's like a nostalgia thing as much as it is good. Sometimes like I don't know, McDonald's cheeseburgers hits the spot. But anyway, they made Grimace NFTs, which is kind of strange. Which honestly, a little misleading. They should be NTTs, non-transfer tokens. There's no trading. You can't sell them or send them. They call them soulbound tokens, but that's NTT on Wax. Yeah, McDonald's made a Grimace profile picture project. I believe it's only in Singapore too. Like if you buy them in Singapore, it's like it comes with your meal if you buy it in the app. Available from August 31st. Even though you can't trade these, like I would fuck with these. If I could get these for buying a fucking Big Mac in my McDonald's app, I would 100% do it. Like I don't need excuses to fucking eat McDonald's. Although I really don't eat McDonald's often. I maybe eat it like 2 or 3 times a year. If it came with an NFT with my Happy Meal, I'm fucking in. There's only 2,000 of these too. They'll be pretty rare. But yeah, I think it's only in Singapore, so I don't think we really, unless you watching the stream are in Singapore right now, or you plan on vacationing to Singapore on August 31st. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Also, like, I guess on like the grander scale of things, it's not even necessarily that the art is cool or that McDonald's is cool. It's just that like the fact that McDonald's is giving away free NFTs, that's pretty mainstream adoption. Like 2 or 3 years ago, only fucking weirdos were in NFTs. There weren't really major brands. Now you have stuff like I'm pretty sure like Nike's in NFTs and like McDonald's. Like you're getting major corporations into it, and that's how you get the general public into this stuff. Like maybe somebody that never wanted an NFT before is now going to get an NFT because having McDonald's, and I don't know, maybe it'll change their mind and then they'll start buying other NFT projects. So, in my opinion, this is just good for mainstream adoption. Like the more we see big companies giving out NFTs and adopting NFTs, like the more likely us small companies will be able to find people. Like Neon Space might be able to find collectors because McDonald's onboards people, and it's not on Wax, but just in general, like the less people that think NFTs are a scam and a Ponzi scheme, the better for all of us. So I think it's cool that it's just happening. More so than I really want a Grimace NFT personally. Like they look okay. I also don't really have much going on with Grimace. Like Grimace is not my favorite McDonald's character. I know those Grimace shakes went really viral. Like people are going crazy for them. Blueberry flavored shakes. Yeah, they have these like Grimace birthday shakes. Do you know that Grimace is a taste bud? Like, he's supposed to be a taste bud on your tongue. Yeah, no, I heard these shakes are not that good personally. I don't know. Let's YouTube a review. But I feel like the Hamburglar is probably my favorite McDonald's character. Like McDonald's characters. What about you guys? Who's your friggin' McDonald's character? I don't even know what these little guys are. These like meatball looking folks. This guy just looks like he's like a creepy doc. He's like an off-brand version of the Doctor from Back to the Future. Hamburglar's my guy, even though honestly all of these are creepy as shit. It's also weird Ronald McDonald's not in there. Obviously, Ronald McDonald's the big man. But they got the pirate. He's like an off-brand Captain Crunch. I like these little oh, that's the Hamburglar stealing burgers. Roller skating pom-pom looking things. Is she a duck? I feel like the big three are Grimace, Hamburglar, and Ronald. Those are the ones I really know. I wonder if that guy, you know that guy that like always eats shit in his car? Yeah, here he is. Report of the week. This guy's like has to have been on YouTube for like a decade. How do you see his about? What the hell? He has a radio station? Let's just see his oldest video. 12 years ago. He's been doing it since he's a kid. He just like reviews everything that comes out from every fast food restaurant. And I have no idea if he has any sort of like credibility, but I don't know. I actually sort of feel like he's the guy to go to if you're going to just look at some random food reviews. But let's see what this guy has to say about it. 11 minutes? I do not have 11 minutes.
Hello, everyone. This is Running on Empty Food Review.
But I feel like this guy's just like the friggin' like, he's like an example of you don't necessarily even need to be good at something. If you just stick at something long enough, like you can get a following on YouTube. He's been doing this for 12 years. He gets like 1 million views on every single one of his videos. He has 2.78 million subscribers. Like he's a full-time fast food reviewer, for like a lack of better words. He like just reviews food trends. And he's not like a food critic. Like he's not like, he didn't go to culinary school. He's not like necessarily qualified to be doing this. He just stuck with it. All right, let's see. This is the most watched part.
Some confetti on the bag right there. Inside, fries, purple napkin. It's also in a special themed box, again with the confetti. That's where they really don't.
This is what we want to see.
That is not, and I'll try to hold it close, that is actually not the plastic. There's actually, looks like more of a coloring there. It has whipped cream at the top.
Okay, we want to see you drink a dog.
Happen to taste like. And that's exactly what I'm going to find out in today's review. So, that said, let's just try out the milkshake, see what it tastes like, see how good it is. And that's the thing, we're all...
This guy looks like he should be like, he looks like the husband in that like medieval looking picture with the guy with the pitchfork. You know what I'm talking about? Like this guy looks like he should be a 70-year-old man, like the way he dresses and presents himself. But I don't know how old he is.
Wondering, so let's get to it. The Grimace birthday meal, especially the Grimace milkshake from McDonald's, going in.
Let's see a moment of truth. Does he like it? He's really thinking about it. That's some due diligence. He's going to suck it down and tell us what he thinks.
You see at the bottom there, I guess you'd call that the purple concentrate.
Personally, I would mix it up. Like if there's a bunch of concentrate at the bottom, I'd stick the straw in and stir it up. I wouldn't want like super concentrated sips, but to each their own.
It was sipped up en masse. Take a few more sips.
He doesn't even tell us what he thinks about it. He's got to do a real thorough review.
I realize this is more of a drink review than a food review, but there is food involved, so I guess I'll stick to the Running on Empty name for this one.
The hell do you think about it, dog? I don't want to just watch you drink the whole thing.
It's interesting. It definitely has a unique flavor to it. So at first, I wasn't sure if this was just going to be a repackaged vanilla milkshake of sorts, but there is a lot more to it than that.
The verdict's in. It's not just a vanilla milkshake. I think it's supposed to be blueberry, right?
It's got this distinct sweetness to it, first and foremost.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's like grossly sweet. Like it just tastes like you're drinking like just a milkshake, but I guess somehow more than other milkshakes, it's just like grossly sweet. But let's see what this guy says.
Definitely a vanilla base is what I would say as far as the flavor goes. It definitely has that vanilla base to it. It's going to be very sweet. You're definitely going to notice that. However, here is the most distinct and noteworthy takeaway from it. Especially toward the bottom, as you notice that higher concentrate, it has a very, I would say, a very potent berry flavor to it. This is definitely like a berry vanilla mix. It's quite interesting, actually.
Does he say if he
I would
likes it at any
say
point?
the most potent sort of milkshake or anything to that extent. Notice again, raspberry, they actually buy that sort of raspberry blend. And there was some sort of celebrity meal that I know was released, and it was just a burger and fries.
Okay, I've had enough of that. I would have liked to know if he liked it, not just what it tastes like. But I've heard it tastes like crunch berries, like Captain Crunch berries. What was the pirate's place here? Fish sandwich? I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about. The pirate for the McDonald's, is that what you're talking about? Let's see, I was gonna look up what is the like painting with pitchfork guy? Yeah, I feel like he looks like American Gothic. I don't know why, but he's just got the vibe of this guy. Even though he's probably like 50 years younger than the person in this picture, he gives me American Gothic vibes. Not that that really matters. All right, last call, exclamation point neon. Then I'm going to wrap the stream up. Here we go. Nobody's joining. It's time to grub. And this is for a Dogzilla Woof Rider pack. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, everybody. Mac should be back streaming with me on Thursday. We'll probably do a tech this Thursday, since we haven't done our Wax DeFi or chart analysis, market analysis, whatever you want to call it, chart reading, technical analysis, and then move around our 100 Wax DeFi position. Max does all that. I'll do that on Thursday. I've got a bunch of off the rails videos about the tropical storm hurricane that hit Los Angeles. So maybe we'll do that on Thursday as well. We'll do both polar ends of the spectrum. We'll do off the rails / technical analysis. Then the new Rivals packs dropped this week, so maybe this Friday I'll go over Rivals. I've been enjoying Nitro Nation as well. Twelter, did you win the last one too? Can't remember if that was you. Either way, you're getting a Dogzilla Woof Rider pack. Whew. I stayed up way too late last night. Trying to pick up the apartment a little bit before Max and Paul get back so they don't come back to just mic crap everywhere. I had like the VR headset on the couch and like a bunch of random stuff. I want to show a preview of some of our off the rails. I thought this video was pretty funny. It's Hurricane Hillary. It's Hillary Clinton doing her like campaign speech. There's just like crazy wave coming over. Got stuff like this coming for off the rails. Let me see if I can find another crazy one. There was some pretty crazy flooding in Los Angeles for like this was in Compton, California. Friggin' car in the LA River, that's insane.
There's no people in this.
So LA got hit pretty hard. I personally was fine. The storm didn't really pass through my part of Los Angeles, but it was kind of a big deal. A bunch of places flooded. So we'll look at some more of that on a Thursday or Friday. Thanks for joining, everybody. Let's find somebody to raid into. Also, as always, hit me up on Discord if you want to hang in between now and Thursday. I'm going to be playing NFL Rivals and Nitro Nation, trying to figure out my club in Nitro Nation. Here's a link to our Discord. But if not, we'll see you all on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to raid into NFT Gamer TV. Peace out. Let's do some infinity mirrors. Infinity. I can't back up like I normally do because my guitars are right behind me. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.